Welcome to Mtg Ectoplasm, your home for spirits and spirit decks in the world of Magic the Gathering. On this episode, I got a question for you. What makes a lord? And is Rattlechains a pseudo lord? I hope you're curious. Let's get this episode started, shall we? Let's go. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on this episode. I'm your host, Dwight, aka D Blanco, a medium that wears an extra large. Listen, you can reach out to me on Twitter at Mtg Ectoplasm, or you can email me at mtgectoplasm@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you, especially after this episode, because you know what? I'm curious about your thought process. Also, I got a website, mtgectoplasm.com. I have my latest and greatest episodes up there. And also, if you're looking to donate, which I gladly would appreciate because I'm always trying to update my equipment here, you can do that there. Or if you want to sponsor the show, you can do that at mtgectoplasm.com. Now, ladies and gentlemen, now that the pleasantries are over, now that I'm done doing my homework, I can now focus on this episode. You know what? I'm excited. I'm excited because I really didn't expect to do this episode. I got, you could sit there and say, I had a epiphany, you could say. And the epiphany was that I was in the process of doing a Rattlechains episode like I did with my Drog School Captain, my Skyclave Apparition episode, and what was the last one? The Aether Vial. So I'd like to break down these cards and see how we could break them down and make our thought process better by using these cards. And what happened was that I looked at the last sentence of Rattlechains and it hit me. It hit me like a lightning bolt touching my brain. And I had to ask, is Rattlechains a lord? No, it couldn't be. Why? Like, I have never heard anybody else out there in the realm of magic. I've never heard you, ladies and gentlemen, come out to me and go, hey, you know, Dwight, maybe it's a first. So maybe I'm the first person to, think this and go, what do you guys think? So while I was doing this deep dive and came up with this question, I decided, let me ask my play group. Now, this is a group of 12 individuals. We get together, we play usually every Friday or Saturday night, and we do it, safely. We set up our own, you could say we Zoom our games. It's pretty unique the way we set it up. We have about 12 to 14 guys in our group. And usually about, at a time you'll have 5 to 6 individuals play. Okay. And I brought it to their attention and it was mixed. The thought process was like, we're all accustomed to seeing a lord be +1/+1 and then give an ability. So the majority of the group was like, no. It's not a lord because it doesn't do that. But then I had others in the group, like I have a young man who, his name is Ray. He plays a Minotaur deck. And let me just tell you, it's a badass Minotaur deck, especially for Modern. And he has a Minotaur in there that gives all his Minotaurs menace, as long as they're Minotaurs. And it hit me, well, does it give it +1/+1? He goes, no, it just gives all Minotaurs menace. So I was like, well, if all Minotaurs get menace, Rattlechains is giving all our spirits flash. The only difference, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that, you know what, it doesn't say other spirits. It just says, I'll read out the sentence to you. When you cast spirit spells as though they had flash. So it's not in that typical way of how lords are written. It's usually other as well. You know, you hear where I'm going with this, right? So I was torn. I was like, okay, you know what? Let me go to a different group. I decided to reach out to the masters, the individuals whom I deem are masters of their decks. I went out, I reached out to the infamous Merfolk Master, Nikachu MTG. Please watch the show Monday through Friday at 10 p.m. 10 a.m. Eastern. He has a show called Coffee and MTG. Great listen, great watch on YouTube. That's a moral imperative. If you listen to the show, it's a moral imperative you listen to him as well. 10 a.m. Eastern a.m. on YouTube. He gave his thoughts, and then I reached out to other masters of his ilk, and once again, I got a mixed results here. Majority were like, no, it doesn't meet the standard, but then they came back to the same thing. Yeah, but it's not. It's in that gray area. So I was torn. I was like, okay. Well, you know what? Let me go to the group who focuses directly in this tribe. And I reached out to you, ladies and gentlemen, that are out there in the Discord group and also the Reddit group. And I wrote out there, let me bring out exactly what I say, because I don't want to sit there and sound like I'm full of fecal material. Okay, I'm not that type of guy. I'm going to be honest and 100% transparent whenever I do things. And this is what I posted. Is Rattlechains a lord? Question mark. That's the title. Do all lords need to give their tribe +1/+1? Question mark. I have seen other lords that give abilities to others in their tribe, like Fellhide Petrifier, which is the Minotaur that gives all other Minotaurs menace. We should start thinking of Rattlechains as a pseudo-lord. What are your thoughts? Question mark. Now, this was responded by several people with their thoughts. And you know what? Bravo. Thank you for responding to my thought process. But I'm not calling Rattlechains a lord. I'm calling him a pseudo-lord. Because it's that gray area, that little bit of what the French call, I don't know what, je ne sais quoi. Let me say that better. Je ne sais quoi. All right. So I decided, you know what? And let me just tell you, the response that I got from this group was out and out. No. Rattlechains is not a lord. No. Emphatic. No. There was no mixed results. There was one individual that said, you know what? That gray area is called lieutenant. And then somebody came out and tried to, it was like, oh no, commander has their lieutenants. And, I understand where both individuals came from. It's just, that's what it was called before a lieutenant was an actual thing. Before there were actual lieutenants in commander. It's so confusing. Commander drives me up the wall sometimes. But I decided, if I went to my play group, they don't know. They're unsure. I went to the masters, modern, legacy, well, there's no real pioneer master, but legacy, modern. Okay, I went to those masters and went, what are your thoughts? They went, no, maybe. And I went to the spirit groups. I'm like, no. Well, I decided to go to a website that, I think it's pretty good. They tend to enrich my soul when I'm really unsure of things, and it's Mtg Wiki. That's right, Mtg Wiki. Now, I apologize for my reading because I really am a very poor reader, but let me go with what I have here. According to Mtg Wiki, Lord is an absolute creature type for creatures with occupations of high class or power within a structure or organization. I thought that was a little weird because the fact that I was like, these creatures have jobs. I heard of a goblin gardener or, other jobs out there, like faux jobs. But I was like, come on, like real jobs. But, who am I? I'm not going to yuck someone's yum, So I went with it. I was like, okay, that makes sense. It's the power structure. Okay. Now, according to Mtg Wiki, there were original lords. The original lords were Goblin King, Zombie Master, and Lord of Atlantis. Now, these lords gave particular land walk and a +1/+1 bonus or an ability like regenerate. So let me break them down. Goblin King gave all goblins +1/+1 and mountain walk. Zombie Master gave all his zombies swamp walk, but regenerate by tapping 1 black mana. Now, Lord of Atlantis, as we all know, depending on how long you've played the game, I was started as a merfolk and then transitioned into a spirit because the spirits weren't really a thing until, I guess, the beginning of, Eldritch Moon. But that's no here or there. Lord of Atlantis gave what? Other merfolk +1/+1 and Island Walk. Not bad. Not bad at all. But then somehow WotC decided in their infinite wisdom to sit there and do away with lords. Now, I don't know about you. I know many of you are probably pondering what happened to the Lord type? What happened to the Lords? How come, they're Lord S, that we call them Lords, but they're not Lords. What's going on? What happens, there was an article, January 2nd of 2008, by Brady Darmermuth, and the title was this: what is the reasoning behind getting rid of the Lord type? ? Now, I read the entire article. It's really good, but I broke it down to just one small thing. And this was it. The creature type was dropped due to the inconsistency between names and use types and gender issues. That's right, gender issues. Now, for those who are unaware, a female lord is a lady. So it would be wrong to call a female a lord when they should be known as a lady. And then I can see why WotC didn't want to pull the trigger on this, because there's a lot of English majors out there who love playing Magic the Gathering, and they're going to go, oh, that's a mistype. And then especially with everything that's going on, all the politics, I'm going to leave that out. I don't care. I'm very libertarian about that. So that is what it is. They decided to do away with it because of the names, the use types, and gender issues. So that is why we no longer see lords. But WotC does make lords, but they don't call them lords. So this is the rule that I ended up finding for lords. Hope you're ready. Certain lords grant bonuses to multiple creatures. If a creature has at least one of these types, that creature can benefit from the lord regardless of how many subtypes it has. Let me just tell you, hands down, ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of lords. Now, even lords that you may have not considered. Really, I thought lords were just lords, but wow, when I did the research, there was a wow. My mind was blown. I'm just going to break down 4 different types for you. 4 different type of lords. Okay? I'm going to break, I'll say all 4 and then I'm going to break down each one. So the first one is our creature type lords. Lords of color. Don't come after me for that one, okay? That's how it was on the page. Lords of color. Okay, keyword lords and keyword granting lords. Now there's more out there, but these are the specifics that I wanted to get to a specific point about Rattlechains. Okay, so let's start with there are creature type lords. These allow the player to choose a creature type to improve the abilities or give a power bonus to or power up bonus for power and toughness. All right. These are examples of automaton and metallic mimic. So you say creature type, I'm going to say spirits. Oh, guess what? All my spirits get a bonus of +1/+1. Or when they come into play, they get a +1/+1 token. Not bad, right? Now they also have a subtype. Okay? Subtype. These are the where I have here are subtypes. They get the bonuses that they get used. I don't know what the hell I was trying to say. But the subtypes are what? Elves, minotaurs, warriors, and spirits. Elves, minotaurs, warriors, and spirits. These are the subtypes. These are what we typically see. So when you see Drog School Captain, when you see, I guess, what's the other one? Oh, geez, I'm blanking here. Supreme Phantom, that's dead. That's our Lord. For warriors, I want to say Chief of the Shield and Chief of the Sword, or Chief of the Edge, I think it is. Now, there are Lords of Color. Ugh. I don't know. It's like vinegar coming out of my mouth. I don't like it. Obviously, these lords benefit a particular creature if they are part of that particular color pie. So, for example, Deathbringer Liege. Okay? Deathbringer Liege gives your creatures +1/+1 if it is black or white. And also, they also have wonderful things that they can do. So if you cast a white spell, tap target creature. If you cast a black spell, destroy target tap creature. Okay? It gives bonuses to those colors. Same thing with Merfolk Liege. It's a blue and a green. And guess what? It gives bonuses to creatures that are blue and green and has other abilities if you do certain things. Okay. Now, there are colorless lords. Now, the first one, you're going to go, okay, no problem, Dwight. I agree with you. And that's Chief of the Foundry. If it's colorless creature, guess what? It gets the bonus +1/+1. Now, I know I'm going to get pushback. I'm going to get a lot of pushback from you guys, but I've done my research. Okay? I'm bringing it up on my phone just so you're aware. I have it in front of me, and I'm not making it up. According to Mtg Wiki, okay, and I'm going to stand with them in this, they are saying Ugin the Infallible, that's right, a planeswalker is a lord, and it's a lord for colorless spells. Why? Because artifacts, they themselves are colorless. So it's one of those colorless lords. Colorless spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. Come at me if you want. That's your choice. That's your prerogative. I'm telling you, Ugin, the Infallible, is a colorless lord. Then you have other, or you can pick any color in a sense, or for example, Crown of Ages. Crown of Convergence. Okay? This is any color lord. Even though it's like an artifact, it's Lord-esque. Okay? It's as long as the top card of your library is a creature card, creatures you control that share the color with that card get +1/+1. There's another artifact that does the same thing, Gauntlet of Power. As Gauntlet of Power enters the battlefield, choose a color. Creature of that chosen color gets +1/+1. Not bad. Whenever a basic land is tapped for that chosen color, its controller adds an additional 1 mana to that color. Oh, I gotta add that to my commander. That's not bad. So, as you see there, ladies and gentlemen, there are our Lords of Color and colorless. Now, that's our second type. So we get done 1 and 2. Color, creature types, sub-creature types, and colors and colorless. To the third, keyword lords. This here, ladies and gentlemen, affects our brethren. Our brethren in Pioneer. Now you're going to go, why Pioneer? Okay, I'm glad you asked. Ready? These lords give bonuses to creatures with special abilities. For example, Vigilance, Trample, Infect, and Flying. Most of these you'll see Infect, Trample, and Vigilance give the +1/+1 ability. But in Flying, we get the +1/+1. Okay, like we do with the Empyrean Eagle. Or my friend, Watcher of the Spheres. Why? Because now, as it says here in the card, second sentence or first sentence after flying, creature spells with flying cost 1 less to cast. Creature spells with flying you cast cost 1 less to cast. Somewhat similar to that Ugin thing, right? That I know some of you poo-pooed me about. That's okay. I forgive you. I do. I forgive you. So, right now, our brethren, right now, in Pioneer, who are playing Pioneer, and God bless you, thank you, and keep on busting your ass in Pioneer. I appreciate it. Make that a thing. I hope you guys do. But right now, in that spirit deck, all right, it's based all on flying, or the majority of it is based on flying. So this keyword lord thing is huge for spirits. It's huge. Now, the next lord is keyword granting lords. You're like, what the hell is this? I've never even heard of this. Keyword granting lords. No, wait, you're full of crap. You're making this up. No, I'm not. These are lords that grant keywords to creatures without increasing or giving the bonus of power and toughness. It doesn't increase it at all. These are just things that, oh, you have a creature, guess what? Now they have this. For example, Iroas. Oh, man, it's so late in the evening. Iroas. Iroas, God of Victory. Okay, I know you're going to butcher me for this. Okay, it states creatures you control have menace. That's the second sentence after, devotion. Creatures you control have menace. So you see what I'm trying to say here. This god enchantment creature is giving a godlike effect, and it's giving a key word. That's menace. You know what does that too? Sublime Archangel. That's right, Sublime Archangel. And it gives all creatures with it gives all other creatures exalted. And if a creature had exalted, guess what? They get an exalted bonus. Ouch. But I will tell you, if you don't like doing math, don't play exalted, because, yeah, that's a lot. Okay, that's a lot of math. So those are some examples of keyword granting lords. So let me ask you about Rattlechains. I'll read the whole entire card for you. Rattlechains. 1 generic, 1 blue. Creature spirit, 2/1. I wish I had a bigger booty. Has flying. It has flash. When Rattlechains enters the battlefield, target spirit gains hexproof until end of turn. It's a great 2-for-1. If you think about it, I protect my creature. Oh, and I get legs. I get a flyer. Oh, and it flashed in, so I can do it at the end of the turn when you're trying to destroy my creature. Oh, I love this card. But now, the last sentence. You may cast spirit spells as though they had flash. I guess main reason why many of us look at this and say it's not a lord is because what it says at the end. You may cast spirit spells as though they had flash. Now, do we not give Rattlechains credit? Do you people out there not think he's a lord? I know many of us treat him like he's not a lord, or he or she. Let me just put that out there. I don't know what gender this thing is. Okay, it is what it is. It's a playing card to me. We don't know anything about this thing except for the fact that it allows us to use our spirit spells as flash. Now, let me ask you. Let's sit down. Just think about this. Would this be a lord if it said all other creatures in your hand that are spirits have the keyword flash? Would it make it a lord then? Or would this thing never be considered a lord just because? Or pseudo-lord? I want you to think about that. I know some of your pig-headed and stubborn and like, Dwight, I don't need to, blah, blah, blah. But it's something to consider. Because Matt Watsy is going to keep on printing cards out this more and more and more. I don't think we'll ever lose the lords or ladies as well, in a sense. But English, or the way this is written, should be definitely considered key when coming up with keywords or subtypes or types or different ways of how we're going to play this game with rules. Now, do I think Rattlechains is a lord? I don't know. It's in a gray area. I want to say yes, because I love this card. I love what it does. Hands down, it is my favorite spirit in spirit decks. Not my favorite spirit, but my favorite spirit in the spirit decks. And I think there's so much capability and ability here in this card that I want to break down in the future. But I want to ask you, what do you think? Email me. mtgectoplasm@gmail.com. Let me know what your thoughts. Twitter me. Okay, tweet me at mtgectoplasm. Let me know your thoughts. Am I wrong in thinking this is a pseudo-lord? It's in that gray area? Did I change your mind? And possibly go, I didn't think it's a lord, but you're not that far. You're right, but you're not wrong, Dwight. Let me know. Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen? It's that time. That's right. It's time again where I'm looking for the cream of the crop, the crème de crème. I'm just looking to make sure we have the best of the best out there. Well, let me just tell you. I looked today in Historic, And there was an individual playing a Jeskai deck. Okay? Didn't top anything, but I want to mention this deck because it's historic and it's Jeskai. And there's someone out there trying to make certain cards work. And that's Venerable Warsinger and Hoffrey Ghostforge. They're trying to make these two cards viable in spirits. And I say, bravo. Bravo, individual. I hope you can make this thing work, and I want to be able to shout you out here on the show. Now, let me begin in Pioneer. That's right, in Pioneer. April 15th, this individual went 5-0. I'm going to mention this individual twice now. 5-0 in Pioneer in an MTGO league in a mono blue snow build. I had this down before I did the show. Sayuseki, congratulations. He also did it on 4/19, went 5-0 with a mono blue snow build. Sayuseki, he did it twice this week. You know what? Congratulations. Congratulations getting out there kicking ass, okay, in Pioneer. On 4/15, an individual went 5-0 in an Azorius build, and that's Ale Milan 19. Congratulations. Also, 4/22, another individual went 5-0 in a Bant build. That's right, Bant. And that's Panza Kirag. I'm going to call you Kiraga. It's Kiraga. That's it. Panza Kiraga. You guys got to make this easier for me. Just simplify it, please. It's killing me. These names are just brutal. But congratulations, everyone in Pioneer that went 5-0 this week. Congratulations. Congratulations. Now in Modern. On 4/20, this individual went 5-0 with an Azorius build in an MTGO league. That's Sommer Troll, Sommer Troll. Congratulations. On 4/23, this individual went 5-0 in a Bant build in Modern in an MTGO league. That's Remf, REMF. Once again, congratulations. I keep on shouting you out, my man. Congratulations. You know what? I'm going to have you on the show eventually. And then finally, of course, who else could it be? I had to save this person for last. I'm going to save him last every single time. On 4/23, this individual went 5-0 in Azorius build in a Modern MTGO league. Dr. Queller, hands down, Dr. Queller out there kicking ass, taking names, chewing bubblegum. No, he's not chewing bubblegum. He's just kicking ass and forgetting about the bubblegum. Congratulations to every single Spirit player out there that's making Spirits great. You know what? Thank you. Thank you for proving that, you know what, that Spirits is the deck. It's one of the best types in all of Magic. God, I appreciate every time I pick up this deck and I go to these shoutouts and go, wow, look at these people. Wow, look at them. They may not even listen to the show and know that I'm giving them and I'm being their cheerleader. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't hear your name out in the shout out, if you did not hear your name at all, don't worry, I'm cheerleading for you too. I want to shout you out. So keep out there. Keep on playing Spirits. Keep on doing what you got to do and prove that Spirits is the best in each and every single format out there. I believe in you. The listening audience believes in you. All right? I have faith that I will say your name on the shout out section eventually. Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen? You know what? It's that time. It's that time of the show where, you know what? It's time to go to bed. I paid my bills. I did my dues. I did everything I had to do. So, remember, ladies and gentlemen, reach out to me on that Twitter, Mtg Ectoplasm. Email me at mtgectoplasm@gmail.com. I want to hear from you. Also, check out the website, mtgectoplasm.com. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? Have a good one. And remember, keep on making our opponents say, that's bullshit. Later.